everyone, Tammy here. Welcome to my bookshelf. So I did a video recently where I talked about how I am struggling with finding energy to read physical books, okay, physically read a book. And I have been listening to books though, and I have two audiobooks I want to talk about today that I really liked. So the first book I'm going to talk about briefly is called Mexican Gothic, and I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads. To make sure that I actually say the author's name correctly, I have it written down. I'm going to put my glasses on. Silvia Moreno Garcia. So yeah, she is an author that I am not familiar with. I've never read any of her work before or listened to any of her books before, but I was so impressed with this novel. Oh my goodness. And it's way out of my wheelhouse. In fact, both of these novels that I'm going to talk about in this video are not my typical read, and I'm so glad I tried something different. So Mexican Gothic is about a young socialite in the 1950s in Mexico. She lives in Mexico City, and her name is, I believe it's Naomi. They say it a different way, you know, they have the, you know, correct pronunciation in the Audibles book, of course. And she is super beautiful and has a wonderful life, and she's very smart, and you know, everything's great with her. And her father calls her into his office one day and says, "We've got a letter from your cousin who recently married somebody that they were kind of so-so about. And her cousin is very close to her, and the cousin says that she is basically feels like she's losing her marbles, and she's physically ill as well. And she has gotten married and gone off into another city very far away out in the boonies. So the father asks Naomi if she will go visit her cousin and see what the heck's going on with her and find out if maybe they need to intervene, step in, and bring her back to Mexico City. Maybe she needs to, you know, see a doctor there, that sort of thing. So she goes off to this spooky as heck house, okay, again, out in the middle of nowhere in some little bohunk town, and all kinds of crazy things happen. It's a very dark, well, it's Gothic, you know, it says Gothic in the title. I mean, Mexican Gothic, there you go. I think the title's very descriptive, and it does kind of fit with this because we have the spooky nature, we have ghosts, we've got the supernatural, we've got a little bit of romance. I mean, there's a little bit of everything, and I was curious about some of her work, so I Googled her, and come to find out, I believe Hulu has actually made a series based on this novel, Mexican Gothic. So I'd really like to see that. But anyway, if you're looking for something a little different, maybe outside your wheelhouse, or if you are into like horror type stuff, it's kind of creepy, then I definitely recommend Mexican Gothic. The other Audible books I finished recently is called Miami Purity. It's by Vicki Hendricks. I also gave it 5 stars, which is rare, on Goodreads. Definitely recommend this book. I would say, especially if you are into crime novels, you would probably like this. It is very gritty. It is considered a noir crime novel, and I say gritty as in lots of sexual stuff. Put it that way. All right, it's definitely, it's not rated R even. It's probably rated X. All right, so if that bothers you, this won't be for you. But it's about an exotic dancer, Sherry, who had accidentally killed her husband. Accidentally, you know, it sounds like it was kind of in self-defense. You know, they were boozing it up, and she ended up killing him. And so we're at that point right after that where she doesn't serve time for it because they figured it's an accident or whatever. She didn't really intentionally kill him, I get the feeling. But anyway, she decides to change her life. She's going to turn her life around. She's getting up there too. She's 36, even though she's got a super hot bod still. And she's very free-spirited, shall we say. Yeah, that's kind of a good way to describe her. But she, you know, she doesn't have any skills. She comes from nothing. She's got no education, and but she's going to try to, you know, live a normal life, have a day job, sort of thing. And of course, things, you know, don't really work out that great for her, as you can expect. Lots of stuff happening. Of course, there's a crime. It's a crime novel. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was very surprised. Yeah, it did make me, you know, blush a few times while I was listening to it, because like I said, it's pretty gritty. But if you're into crime novels and you don't mind a little rated X, you know, here and there in the book, it definitely kept me going. I didn't guess the ending, let me put it that way. Typically, I can usually figure out what's going to happen, and very often when I thought, oh, this is it, this is what's going to happen, then something else happened. So I thought that was good. That kept me very interested in the book. So anyway, Miami Purity is the name of that one. And the other one, like I said, is called Mexican Gothic. Both of them were in Audibles. Both of them I recommend, and I gave them 5 stars. And yeah, that's kind of it. Thank you so much for stopping by and seeing what's on my bookshelf today. As usual, please give this a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Bye-bye.